Hey guys, you know what I like to do when my wife and my daughter are binge watching shows? I like to look at some baseball cards. I have a lot of cards that have come in because I haven't done a video in a while, and I thought I'd show them live. And I thought we might be able to do some talking about grading and the new fees and everything that are going on. So I'll give people a chance to get in here before I start showing some fantastic stuff. I got a unexpected care package that I'm real excited about, and I got something really special that I want to show. So give a few minutes for some people to join, and then I'll show. I have all kind of stuff, a lot of new stuff, and a few a few things that I already had. Let me know what's on your mind. I think they're cool. Said to show some cool cards. I think they're cool. All right, let's get into it. Classic cards. Hey, what's up? We're going to start off with a care package I got from George at DiamondYard Sports Cards. And this was unexpected. He sent me a care package of cards, and I guess the story goes that he got this collection from a guy that got these cards as a kid signed. I guess he lived across from Jack Murphy Stadium, and he used to ride his bike to the stadium and get the players to sign cards for him. Thanks, Andrew. And so I opened this up, and man, what a fantastic care package. So he sent me a bunch of signed Manny Sanguillen cards. And of course, I'm a huge Manny Sanguillen fan. We have a hostess there. And this is one of my favorite Manny Sanguillen cards right here, the 74. Fantastic card. And the 73. And the 1972. I want to send a special thank you to George, DiamondYard Sports Cards. If you're not familiar with his channel, you need to check it out. Next up, I got, did you ever do this? Did you ever buy a card thinking that you didn't have it? Do I know how many cards I have? Well, I know they're well over 100,000. And believe it or not, I have very few doubles. So most of my cards are originals. I have starter sets from like 1909 on. Near sets, pretty much I have every rookie from 1954. I mean, when we get into the modern days, it gets iffy. So many different rookie cards, but let's say up to 1980 or whatever. From 1954 on, the only one I need is the Pete Rose floating head. I have every major rookie card, and I have near sets for all those sets from 54 on. Actually, from probably 53 on. But so yeah, well over 100,000 plus of other things. So did you guys ever do this? You ever, I used to, if I saw a card, I knew right how many are graded. You know what? I never counted them, but I do have tons of graded. But the vast majority of them would have been raw, since I collected from my childhood, and it would cost me like $1 million to grade all my cards, which is insane. And so obviously I'm not going to do that. I thought about it, like if I graded every one of my cards, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about after I do my card showing, or maybe in the middle here. If you wanted to do a set registry, right? And I have sets, near sets or complete sets, from the 60s through the 70s and 80s. I mean, how could you ever afford to do that? So if you want to do a set registry, I mean, you're pretty much limited unless you're a millionaire or something, to maybe one set. And I don't know, like, to me, more is better. So I'm kind of, I like to have a lot of stuff. And I know there are some guys that would just like to have 10 or 20, nines or tens of vintage cards, and that's fine too, whatever you want to do. But for me, I'd rather have all the great cards, not just a handful. But that's just me. So, as I started to say, I always knew growing up, and even as an adult, if I saw a card, hey, what's up, Reese? Glad to have you. If I saw a card, I knew immediately if I had it. And lately, I acquired some groups of cards and so forth. And lately, I'm forgetting that I got some cards. So did you ever do that? You bid on an auction. What's up? You bid on an auction and you win it, and then when you get the card, you go to put it away with your set, and you realize that you already had the card. Well, that happened with me. I was all excited to get this Connie Hawkins rookie card. And I go to put it away, and of course, I already had a really great example of the card. Now, Connie Hawkins, I mean, a lot of younger people might not know him, but he's a real legend. So he was banned from the NBA, and there was a book about him, and it's called Foul. If you're interested, Foul. And there was a point shaving scheme in college, at his college. And it's my understanding that it happened before he even got to college, but he was implicated in this and kind of railroaded and banned from the NBA for many, many years. And he finally got to play. And once he went to the NBA, he was a four-time All-Star in the NBA once he got there. But his NBA career was cut way short, and he was a fantastic player. So it would have been interesting to see what he could have done with a full career. He played with the Harlem Globetrotters, yes, and he won the 1968 ABA championship with my Pittsburgh Pipers. And I actually watched that game because ESPN Classic played the whole game one day, and I sat there and watched it. And he played against Larry Brown, the old coach, and he was a great outside shooter, Larry Brown. And they went at it at this NBA game. It was a very high-scoring game. Hey, Andy. Yes, he was a Laker from 73 to 75. I think he played for Phoenix. And I know he played for Phoenix, and trying to think if he might have played for another team. So anyway, I have two Connie Hawkins rookie cards. And this guy's a legend. One of those guys. Now, man, I have something special. And I have to give a shout out to Sean Teaford. I guess he goes by the Chosen Collector now. Thank you. You too. And he turned me on to these things, and man, are they cool. So most of you who collect cards will be familiar with the 1933 Leo DeRocher. I believe that's his rookie card. Not that I get wrapped up in those things. But I got this card when I was young. It was one of the first 33 Gaudi cards I ever got. Well, I just got a hold, and this is so cool I can't even tell you. This is the original copyright card for that card. Filed at the Library of Congress. And of course, PSA grades them. How cool is this? Leo the Lip. That's right, baby. Man, I'm excited to get this. Thank you. Now, I already had this card, so this is an upgrade. So I have, I think it's a 3 that I have, a 3 or 3.5, something like that. But man, this one is so sharp and so fantastic, I had to grab it. That's right, Scotty. It's a 1940 play ball Hank Greenberg in a 5. just a fantastic example of this card. The one I had, you know, it wasn't the perfect eye appeal for me, and I wanted to upgrade it. I don't usually upgrade, but I found this for a good price. I mean, I bought this for less than the ones that were, you know, threes were selling for that didn't look anywhere near as good. And this is just a really beautiful example of the card. Hank Greenberg. Of course, he came to my Pittsburgh Pirates at the end of his career to help mentor a young Ralph Kiner. And he did a good job, too, because he led the league his first 7 years in home runs. Only player to do that. And I got this. This is a 1939 to 46 exhibit. And man, this guy's stats are off the charts. And he's just a great, he was just a great ball player. I don't think he gets enough love. I love the Joe DiMaggio heads up. That's one of my favorite all-time cards, and I don't have one. And I should have got it before the boom. But this guy is one of the greatest players to ever live. I don't think he gets enough baseball love. I don't think he gets enough hobby love, and that's Mel Ott. And he had that classic swing with the big leg kick. Fantastic player. Excited to add that. I love the older exhibits. And this guy, one of the first black stars in the NFL. And this card is just beautiful. And that's a 1951 Bowman, Joe Perry. This is like a Monet right here. Joe the Jet. And my dad's favorite college player growing up, I got a 1958 Hopalong Cassidy. Beautiful card. You got to read the backs. And the only black pitcher to throw 2 no-hitters. Most people don't know this. Don Wilson, and this is from the 1969 Transagram set. Now, Transagrams, if you don't know, they were little toy figures, and they all looked the same. They just changed the name on the back. And they're rare. I mean, you're going to pay up to get them the actual toy, and the cards came on the back panels. And I do have one uncut panel, but I don't have any of the toys or the boxes. And you kind of have to be careful when you buy these, because there was also a little card on the side of the box. I don't know. It's like iffy whether they were the card or not, because these are the cards they made. But what they'll do is they'll cut out those little small ones, and they'll sell those as cards too. But I think, you know, for me, these are the more desirable cards because they were the actual cards. The others were just kind of a picture showing you who was in the box. But beautiful card there. And I got this 1951 Bowman, Johnny Antonelli. Another beautiful art card there. Hey, Ray. Oh, man, I'm honored to have Ray from Philly in here. And if you don't know, Ray does a heck of an impersonation of me. He has the sleeveless shirts. Now, this guy I didn't have represented in my collection, and I may have gone overboard, so I got a few. And he was a Negro League player, and when he came to the majors, he was a 2-time All-Star. He was an NL wins leader. He was an ERA leader. He was a 3-time strikeout leader, and he pitched a no-hitter. and that is Sam Jones, and this is one of his best looking cards in my opinion. No, I don't think Ray does nunchucks. And here's 1960. And here's a 1953. All right, let's move on. If you guys watch my channel, you know I absolutely love the Colgan's chips. Some of them are really hard to find, and this one is one of those. And I have Tinker and I have Chance, so I had to get the Johnny Evers. If you're not familiar with these, they're very, very thin. And I have a can. It's pretty easy to find the tin cans that they came in. I think there's two different colors. But it was their motto or slogan was the only round gum. And they came in a little round tin. And this was at the bottom of the gum. But super excited to get that. This guy played for my Pirates, but he came up with the Boston Red Sox. And this is a 1962 Salata coin, Jim Paglaroni. And my dad tells the story that he beat Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale on the same day. He had two great games and a doubleheader, and had hits to win both games. And talking about somebody who doesn't get enough hobby love, doesn't get enough baseball love, and I know Lou Rock, if you're watching, you're with me on this one, and that is Elston Howard. And this is a 1958, and it's just a beautiful card. 1958 is one of my favorite all-time sets. I love it because there's really no background. It's like the player is, you know, just with a color background. They really pop. Very underrated player. He won an MVP. Do you know what year? No, I think Howard was really good, not just a Yankee. In fact, I'm surprised he doesn't get enough, you know, more notoriety because he was a Yankee. That's the surprising part to me. Oh, and I forgot, I got another Sam Jones, and I just love the 60 Leaf set. '63, he won the MVP. You know what? The Kmart, if you collected the old Kmart cards, that's how we all learned about who was the MVP at what year. Now, Ray from Philly, got a question for you. Should this guy be in the Hall of Fame? I got this awesome 63 rookie of Rusty Staub. Should Rusty Staub be in the Hall of Fame? Got a frog in my throat or something. Ray from Philly says yes. Wrigley Regular says no. That's the one thing about baseball fans. We all have an opinion. Hall of Very Good. The Grand Orange. Good player, but not an all-timer. Here we have a yes from Greg. What's up, Greg? If Rusty Staub played for the Yankees, would he be in the Hall of Fame? I have this strip card. I've had this, but I had it laying around, and it's just so cool. I wanted to show it, and that's Zach Wheat, another underrated player. Underappreciated, undervalued. Al Oliver for the Hall of Fame, baby. There you go. Dick Allen and Dave Parker. I didn't get to watch Dick Allen, although I wouldn't argue against that, but Dave Parker for sure. For sure. I watched him lots. I mean, I think it's, you know, a combination of the cocaine trials of the 80s that took place in Pittsburgh and the fact that he was kind of like the Muhammad Ali of baseball, very boastful, that hurts him. Weed is long forgotten, yeah. Now, this is interesting. This is a 1960 Hal Smith. And my dad likes to tell the story that Smokey Burgess always brags that he won the 1960 World Series for the Pirates. Because in Game 7, they replaced him with Hal Smith. And Hal Smith hit the tying home run right before Bill Mazeroski hit the game-winning home run. So Smokey Burgess always joked that he won that World Series. And here's a Hall of Famer when he was a coach. And this is George Kelly, and this is autographed. And this is a Remar Baking Company. I think it's pronounced Remar. Gotta like cards with little bread on them. And I love this guy. Any golf fans out there? Chichi Rodriguez. Piece of his jersey. I love the 55 doubleheaders too. I got to watch him play like real close. Just him and Arnold Palmer at Arnold Palmer's Country Club. And I followed those two around. It was a good experience. And this guy was in the All-Star game, and deservedly so. I mean, he's a great second baseman, and that's Adam Frazier. Here we have a 1951 Charlie Dressen. Oh, Bullet. Wait, is that the old Steve McQueen movie, Bullet? Here's a 1953 Bowman. Hank Bauer. No, I'm not going to the National, Ray. Will the Pirates ever be contenders again? Not until they change management. They should actually throw the management out of the league because the Pittsburgh Pirates are a farm system for the rest of baseball. And it's pretty embarrassing and humiliating for anybody that lives in Pittsburgh or is just a fan of baseball in general. Here we have a 1950 Bowman L.B. Nickel. Good receiver for the Steelers. Love these old football cards, man. And here's a 1950 Bowman Sam Jethro. And a 49? Sid Gordon. Here we have an old, I think these are from the late 30s, Kellogg Pep stamps. And this one's Tris Speaker. Man, one of the early great players. Got a couple coins laying around. We have from 64, my man Clemente. Here's a Pete Rose. Here's a Warren Spahn. Let me see if I can get these questions to stay up. I'm missing some. I guess not. If I missed a question of yours, put it back in there. Lions Made. Chris Everett. I don't remember the exact year of these. I want to say around 70, 76, somewhere in there. Maybe later. And this guy was an absolute beast. Does not get enough hobby love. Does not get well, he might get enough hobby love. His cards are pretty expensive. But you don't hear him talked about in the football circles. And that's Marion Motley. Big dude. And he was the running back at Cleveland before Jimmy Brown got there. Got these cards. These are kind of hot now. When are they from? 2008. This LeBron. And this Kobe Bryant with LeBron in it. Yeah, you missed Sam Jethro. I'll show it again. Who remembers the football player they called the Jet? Went to West Virginia. I used to go watch him play all the time in college. Anybody remember the Jet? And I got these old Post cereal cards. These are so cool. Got Johnny Unitas. And Jim Brown. Got some tops now, and some of these are, they show special happenings when somebody does something special. So here you have Kyle Schwarber. This one features him because he had 11 home runs in 9 games. James Jett. I guess they didn't call him the Jet. His name was Jet, right? And here is, well, a call up for the Pirates, but he'll be traded if he's any good. A post Dale Murphy. It's a little newer post than those. And Andrew McCutchen, he got his 250th home run. And do I still have them back there? No. Oh, I have it over here. Got this PNC Park statue there of McCutchen. A little nicer than a bobblehead. 89 post, yeah. I always loved all the postcards. I got to give a shout out to my man Pepino Man. I showed this on his live feed that we did, but he sent me, he works at Dodger Stadium, and he took a big piece of the dirt from Curtin Clayshaw's no-hitter on June 18th, 2014. How awesome is that? Yeah, while I'm over there, here's my Hank Aaron rookie. Buy Buy the card, not the grade, baby. 1954 is just notorious for bad registration, lines across, you know, those lines that go across, snow. This is a beautiful one for the grade. I handpick all my cards. I'm sure you all do too, but I always go for looks. Nothing wrong with this. I don't even see a crease in it. It's just, I mean, the corners aren't totally sharp. That's the only thing I see. That's the only thing wrong with it. Here I have it. Autographed Joe DiMaggio baseball. Here's a Satchel Paige autograph. I'm not a big autograph fan, but man, am I glad to have a Satchel Paige. Got this really cool old premium of Babe Ruth. The Maris rookie? Yes. From 58. You want the Butterfinger Gehrig? I could go get all my Butterfingers. These were stand-up, and you're hard pressed to find them with this still intact. This stand-up on the back, and this has some pinholes in the corners. They must have pinned it up, but what that did was it kept it intact. So I don't mind it at all. I just like how vintage cards, you know, the look. I don't mind that they're a little worn. I don't want my vintage to look like they came right out of a pack, to be honest with you. Kind of takes away from me. I want to know they were circulated and somebody enjoyed them. What else? Let's talk about card grading a minute. If you watch my channel, you know I'm not the biggest card grading fan. And it just seems like no matter what PSA does, people will pay. Like no matter what they charge, they trim cards. People don't care. It's like they're bulletproof. And now these prices, I don't follow them. And I haven't had anything graded because I don't want to wait 7 months or a year to get them back. So I heard that they're charging like $250 a card at the National to grade them. So I wanted to kind of discuss, like, how does that affect you guys? Like, what do you think of that? You know, as a collector, my initial thoughts. As a collector, I mean, how many cards, you know, you can't really afford to grade them unless they're worth thousands. And as an investor, I mean, that adds a lot. If you're trying to flip a card or you're trying to invest in it, and it's going to be $250 just to grade it, it's got to go up pretty substantially. So, like, where do you draw the line? What? How much does a card have to be worth for you to pay $250 to grade it? I've always been an SGC fan. Of course, I love the look of them on vintage cards. If we don't support them, they will come down in prices. It's true. I mean, people are like, so there's millions of them. CAC Sports Cards, welcome. He does a good impersonation of me too. All right, guys, give me 1 minute. Somebody requested Butterfinger cards. Well, does anybody want to see those? Clean up here a little bit, make room for these large cards. JP Wisco. Oh man, the comments are coming so fast I can't keep up. Never heard of Butterfinger cards. They're from 1934. They're oversized premiums. Well, let's show them. They're all rare, all of them. One of the rarest Babe Ruths you can have is a Butterfinger. One of the rarest Lou Gehrigs is a Butterfinger. Give me a minute. I keep my Butterfinger cards in this case that I got at Hobby Lobby. I have a few of them. I love them. They're like old-fashioned suitcases. So let me put this. Let me open this up. Put it on the ground. You guys are gonna love these if you've never seen them before. These are real thin. Really hard to find them intact. I mean, really hard. Wilson Franks. I could show those next. I have Wilson Franks. One of my favorite sets. Here's the Babe Ruth. This is just in remarkable condition. It's intact. Yeah, as a dealer, you'll get them graded if you could sell them for more, right? But that limits which ones you can get graded, though, right? Which is unfortunate. Like, if you want to grade a 1983 Johnny Bench, like, who's going to pay $250 to do that? So this is just in remarkable condition. No paper loss, no tears, no creases. It just has a little bit of a ding in the bottom. And I believe the person that I got this from, when I got it, this was sticking out. It didn't protect it well. And I believe that happened during shipping. But I have a backup. This is a beautiful example too. This has two little dings up here, and that's all that's wrong with it. And these are blank back. They're very, very thin. If you ever get these raw, you got to be really careful with them. I keep them in these cases. This is a Bill Dickey. I keep them in these cases here that I get at Home Depot or Hobby Lobby. They're snap-ins. They protect them really well. Here we have Chick Hafey. Tex Carlton. Oh, worst cigar. I have a couple of those cards. Here's Lou Gehrig. Lefty Grove. You had a display box, Dave? Wow. I don't even know what that looks like. Here's the Paul Wainer. And this one's odd because it is grayed out there. That's Big Poison. Here's Little Poison. And if I'm not mistaken, he still holds the all-time record for most hits as a rookie. I believe he still holds that. My French Bauer milk cap. Oh, man, I got to remember where that is. I got two of those. Frank Robinson and Veda Pinson. Man, I'd like to get to Pete Rose. Here's a Jimmy Wilson. Gus Mancuso. Suzuki now has the most rookie hits. I wondered if he broke that. Here's a Jimmy Fox, and this is, there's two versions of this. So one is the correct spelling of his name with two X's. 51 Wheaties Premium of Yogi Berra. I don't think I'm familiar with a premium. I'm familiar with the 52 card. Lloyd Wayner, he says. And this is the Air version with 1X. And I have another one up hanging on my wall. I have 3 of these Jimmy Foxes. I just got such good deals on them, and they're not so easy to find. So those are my Butterfingers. We put these back, and I'll get the Wilson Franks for you. Somebody requested those. Well, actually, I have some other cool sets in here. I got this box with various 1950s, different kinds of sets, 50s and 60s. Let's see here. I'll end up showing all of these. So. Where's my Wilson Franks? Here we go. The top card in the set, Ferris Fane. Just kidding. Roy McMillan. Enos Country Slaughter. Bob Feller. This is graded at 2, but I can't find a thing wrong with it. I did a video saying, buy the card, not the grade, after I got this card. I mean, I looked at it under sunlight, under everything. I can't find a thing wrong with it. It's Roy Campanella. I mean, the back's clean. No creases. Corners are nice for this issue, so. Oh, I'm going to get to my hires, JP. Tony, I'm going to get to those. And Ted Williams. Another pretty clean card. I mean, these didn't even come out of the package at an 8 or a 9. Probably not even a 7. All right, you want some hires? Let's do some hires. Here we have Willie Mays with the tab. We have Frank Thomas. Got to hang out with him one time. Third baseman for my Pirates. Here we have a Dick Groat. Don Newcomb. You know, I got these 3 here from Clean Sweep Auctions. And I have to tell you, if there's anybody from Clean Sweep watching, you guys have to package these better. They come sticking out the top of the top loader, man. It's hard to believe a company like that would send them that way. Here's Bill Verdon. My dad says he was one of the greatest defensive center fielders he ever saw. They called him the Quail. Here's the Willie Mays test. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head how many are in the set. Somebody, if you could put in the comments if you know. I don't know off the top of my head. There's a Bob Skinner. I really want the Richie Ashburn. That man, I can't find one. Johnny Padres. Reese, I know you got one. Gene Baker. Hank Aaron. Here's an autograph, Bob Skinner. The most unique Hank Aaron card I have, probably the Johnson cookies. That's tough. Yes, it is, Yanks fan. Ted Klozewski. How many cards do I think I have and a percentage of vintage? Well, I have, like I said, over 100,000 for sure. Most of them are vintage. Now, here's what you can do. So if you like to collect them with a tab, and you can just tape them together. So, like that. Here's a Bob Friend. I got to hang out with him too, one-on-one. Really nice guy. Bill Mazeroski. Got another Dick Groat. There you go. With the tab. Don Zimmer. Where did I get the screw down? You're talking about these old bricks. These were so popular in the 90s. And I won't put cards in here, but I will put stamps and really like thin cards. But I won't put cardboard cards in them. They can press them down. And you definitely don't want shiny cards in here. They'll stick. So these really aren't used a whole lot anymore, but I do like them for photographs or kind of things or stamps. But you can find them at BCW Supplies. They still sell them. Here is Whitey Lockman. Clem Labine. Man, I forget. Clem Labine, right? In Italian, it would be Labine. Bobby Avila. Hank Sauer. And Gino Simoli. So those are my hires. I know there's several I need. And the one I really want is the Richie Ashburn that I don't have yet. Now, another favorite set of mine, the 1954. Man, in the 50s, the food issues. Dave Blue Jacket 66 must go hog heaven in the 50s. We have, this is a rare set, the Rodeo Meats. Get the Bobby Shantz there. There's a error version of this card as well. There's two versions of it, but these are hard to find. And Johnny Sane. There aren't a whole lot of big stars because it's limited to that team. But these are two of the, I guess the two most desirable cards, I believe. And we have the, man, I love the 1950 Drakes. These were cookies. We got Gil Hodges. Yogi Berra. I'm going to show Red Heart coming up here. Roy Campanella. Yeah, Gil Hodges, he's one that a lot of people have always argued should be in the Hall of Fame. An autographed Bobby Dewar. And I just love this card. This is Ed Stanky. I want the Eddie Wakus in this set. Bobby Thompson, Dom DiMaggio. There's a lot. Okay, what next? Let's do the Dandy. And these cards are dandy. Here we have a Mickey Mantle. This is a really nice example of this card. Another card I think is very underrated, undergraded. Minoso. Duke Schneider. Yeah, it is tough. I bought this from Beckett several years ago, and I made an offer. I got this so cheap for what they're selling now, it's unbelievable. Here's a red Shandingst, and this is a beautiful card. Hank Bauer. Just picked this one up. I showed it recently, along with Bobby Avila. Monty Irvin. I really want the Frank Thomas for my Pirates in this set, but man, that card sells for so high, and I don't understand why. It'd be hard to sell one for that price, because I'm probably the only Frank Thomas fan out there, other than, you know, old former people. Larry Doby and Bob Friend. I'm a centering junkie, Yanks fan. What else do we have in this box? I got all kind of stuff. This is from 1950. What is this called? I'm drawing a blank. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Who could tell me? A 1950 felt. Bobby Dewar. American Candy and Nut or something? Kind of a cool felt there. Now, you know, in 1955, Stan Musial didn't have any cards. However, they sold his baseball glove in a box, and it contained baseball cards, and there's 4 of them. I have 2 of them. This is one of them. This is a nice example, little creased here, but you know, they came on boxes. So these are real tough to find and top grade. I mean, how many people took great care of a box, right? And here's another one. And speaking of boxes that cards came on, I have something really cool here. Let me show you. What was this? 1972 or 3? Keds. Now, who keeps these boxes? But these had cards on them. I'm a big Willis Reed fan and Johnny Bench. Just in great condition. I don't know who would have kept that box. And, hey guys, I don't know if you saw my video. I got this a while back, but, you know, it was kind of a dream fulfilled. I don't know if you're familiar, if you ever read about or saw the strange inheritance of the Black Swamp find, but I acquired the 3-finger brown from that find, one of them. Beautiful. What else? Here's a I think this is from 1950, I think, Royal Desserts. This is a tough set. Bobby Thompson. Shot heard round the world, baby. There's an old Mother's Cookie. Is this Mother's Cookie, I believe? Yes, Mother's Cookies of Gene Baker. How about we look at some Red Hearts? 1954 was a good year for baseball cards, man. You got Hank Aaron rookie, the Ernie Banks rookie, the Al Kaline rookie. You have the Dandies, and you have the Red Heart dog food. Let's take a look at some Red Heart dog food cards. Got a number of these. And we got the Mickey Mantle. Stan Musial. Got an autographed Minnie Minoso. You were just talking about him. Oldest player ever to hit safely in a major league game. You would know that if you collect the 1977 cards and the turn back the record breaker card of his. Billy Martin. I should get a Reggie Jackson card and have him go at it. Richie Ashburn. Ted Kluszewski. I should say Big Ted Kluszewski. His 1957 card with the no sleeves, that's just an awesome card. One of my favorite all-time cards. Played for my Pirates for, I think, 2 years. I think 58 and 59, I believe. Ralph Kiner. Carl Erskine. Warren Spahn, one of the greatest left-handed pitchers in history. Jim Gilliam. And I need his rookie card from the 53 top set. What else we have here? Oh, we got this funky set. We got 1954 Top Scoop. Got Bob Feller. These are a little smaller than normal cards. They're a unique size. Here you got Jesse Owens from when he raced a horse. Here is Rocky Marciano, the only heavyweight never to be beaten. Here you have Babe Ruth. And one of the prettiest golf swings ever. Probably my favorite golfer, Ben Hogan. What else we have in here? We have a 1959 Yoo-Hoo, Gil McDougall. Yoo-Hoos are blank backs. They also made lids. And it's tough to find them where you can actually, like the image isn't scratched a little bit. They're really condition sensitive, the lids. Man, I loved Yoo-Hoos as a kid. Here's a 1961 Bell brand, Gil Hodges. What was Bell brand? Potato chips, I think. Sports Oddity cards. No, I don't. Lest I forget, my memory isn't what it used to be. Here's a 1960 Bell brand, Johnny Padres. Here is a Sandy Koufax. Don Drysdale. Norm Sherry changed Sandy Koufax's, turned his game around, man. Jim Gilliam. East Hill Pirates set. Yes, I do. Tommy Davis. Wally Moon. And I have to get the favorite one for me of those Bell brands. Just a great looking card of Maury Wills. I have it hanging up because I like it. Let's see. We have a couple of... where's my other one here? Got a couple Johnson cookies. Hank Aaron. And Warren Spahn. And I have some of these Lake to Lakes. Where are the other ones? Joe Adcock. These were stapled to milk cartons, I think. And you could redeem them for something. And they would punch a hole in them, like you see here, if you redeemed them. So you couldn't redeem them twice. But this is a tough set. I have some Green Bay Packers too, and the number one card is Bart Starr, of course. But I have who do I have? Paul Hornung and is it Jim Taylor? I think. So that's a tough set. Here's a 1952 Wheaties Ted Williams. Ralph Kiner. Preacher Rowe. I think they also called him Schoolboy, didn't they? So that's what's in this box. I think I showed... Oh, and I have this... what is this? For 1950, I think. Frost Aid. It was a Montreal Royals minor league set. And who is this? Gino Samoli. These are kind of cool. Jimmy Fox Buttercream. That's a tough one. I'd love to have that. But I do have these. This is a 1933 Warch cigar. And I also have Carl Hubble. Won 24 consecutive games. Yeah, Ray, I know you like that one. And this is kind of cool. This is a 1960 National Bank Washington Tacoma Giants. And the two biggest players in this set, most of them, you know, didn't make the majors, but the two biggest players are Matty Alou and Juan Marichal. And I've only ever seen one Juan Marichal, and it was beat up bad. But this is a nice example of this one. Oh man, you know, this is rare. This is I'm actually tired of looking at cards, I think. That doesn't happen too often. Anybody have any questions? Anything they want to talk about before I wrap things up? Thank you, Reese. Ha! Thanks, Ray. What cards am I chasing? Well, that's the thing. I don't really chase cards anymore. Not with these prices. I kind of go for opportunity when I find something that's a great price. But I have some dream cards, and when I say dream, I mean like they're obtainable. The 33 Lou Gehrig from the DeLong gum set, the 38 Gaudy Joe DiMaggio, and you know, Yanks fan, I always ask you, since you're into graded comic books that you can't read, you might want to send me that, but he never does. So anyway, those are two, and the 33 Tattoo Orbit Dizzy Dean. It's on my list. I am not going to the National. I had not planned on it with it being up in the air, and so slammed at work. I was thinking about going out there last minute, but I don't think it's going to happen. You never know, though. I could end up there. Oh, I have something else to show you. Yeah, you want to see the East Hill set? Might take me a minute to track it down. Yeah, I have some Ramleys. I just picked up a great Ramley. So this is a Fatima, old Fatima tin, tobacco tin there. And cards like this would have come in them. I'm not sure. There's several different types. But I have Wally how do you pronounce his name? Shang. And Eddie Murphy. But I like to get the you know, package like an original. 69 Clemente Deco Edge. Yeah, I want the O-Pee-Chee version of that. Man, are you saying that you want that, or did you remember that I said that? Yeah, it's true. What else do I have here? You know what? I'm in the mood to look at a few more. You want to look at some 40, what is it, 40, 48 Leaf? Although it's, I guess it's really 48, 49 Leaf. Yo, Diamond Stars and Tattoo Orbit, would you rather look at that instead of Leaf? You know what? I could show both. What the heck? Here's some premiums. You got the Babe Ruth. These are from the 48 Leaf set. And there's a couple different versions of these. Here's a Babe Ruth. Joe DiMaggio. Ted Kluszewski rookie. This was the first one I ever got. There were two that were the first ones I ever got as a kid. Where's my other one? Very nostalgic to me. I will never upgrade them. Johnny Vandermeer, the only pitcher to throw back-to-back no-hitters. I was so excited to find these as a kid because, I mean, these things were not easy to find. And the Babe Ruth back then, I remember it sold for $100. And that was enormous when you were paying $3 for cards. I won't show them all, but some highlights. Honus Wagner. Got Sid Luckman. Luke Appling. Bobby Doerr. Scooter. Phil Rizzuto. Johnny Mize. What's up? Ralph Kiner. Stan the Man Musial. As amazing of a player, and I mean, his statistics are off the charts. What do you have, over 3,700 hits? He does not get enough baseball love, I don't think. Even though people, know he was good. I mean, he doesn't, it's not like he's totally disrespected, but I think he's, one of the all-time greats. And I grew up right down the road from where he grew up. Ted Williams. And this is a beautiful example. Thanks for joining, Jesse. Oh, man, I have this cool thing. This is an uncut sheet of boxing cards with Jack Johnson and Sugar Ray Robinson. And here's, great runner, Steve Van Buren. Gene Tunney. And I just watched the movie Cinderella Man, Max Baer. We got Bullet Bill Dudley from my Steelers. George Sternweiss. Johnny Hippity Hop. Elmer Velo. Zaveo. Paul Trout. Didn't they call him Dizzy? Paul Dizzy Trout, I believe. And Al Evans. Here's Jim Hagan. Larry Jensen. The Newhouser. No, I don't think so. No, I don't. Bob Mann. Great card. Dale Ennis. Yeah, didn't I just show it? I think I have that one. Well, I thought I did. Maybe I don't. Dick Wakefield. Roy Smalley. That's a great card. Snuffy McGinnis. Yep. Pete Pios. You Philadelphia fans, Ray, you know this guy? Great receiver for the Eagles, right? I don't know if everybody knows this, but during the war, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers merged. And for a few years, they were the Steagles. No, Del Ennis. I thought I had it, but I don't see it here. And William Flash Swiacki. Yeah, I could swear I had that card, so I must be mistaken or thinking of another set. Oh, wow. Just love these Leaf cards. Yeah, I guess I don't have it. I swear I had that. I'll teach you nunchucks. You know, you guys, you don't appreciate my nunchucks. So I had to start another channel. So I could, release some stress because... So when I was I think it was in 9th grade, maybe 10th, I had a friend that I got to know, and he taught me how to use those things, and I didn't know much, but he taught me a few basic moves. And then when I was a freshman in high school, or in college, I mean, I got back into them with a friend of mine. But when I was in high school, and I'm not saying I'm proud of this, but I grew up in the country, and we started chewing tobacco in like the 3rd grade, and we chewed side chew too. And I had a boombox, and I only had like 3 cassette tapes. And I'd go outside with my boombox, and one of the cassette tapes I had was Billy Squier, Emotions in Motion. Everybody Wants You, still one of my favorite all-time songs. When the first time I heard that song, I thought I died and went to heaven. It was a band at my high school that played it. But I would put on that cassette, and I would stand out in my yard in the country with a side chew, and I would practice nunchucks. And so when the Corona lockdown happened, I wasn't very busy at work when that started. And, we were kind of going insane and just locked up in my house. And my gym was closed because I like to go work out. And so I had a pair laying around, and I went out back one day, and I started playing around. And then I was like, you know what? I want to get better at these, And so it became my Corona, my Corona lockdown kind of project, right? And I don't know, I just started having fun and posted some videos for fun, and also to kind of monitor my progression. So it was really done for myself. And I put nunchuck videos on this channel, and I didn't know you could have more than one channel. And of course, 99.9% of you don't appreciate them, which is cool. So I started another channel, Nunchuck Man. And I have fun putting my nunchucks out there. And so I still do a lot of workout, but I look at the first ones compared to now, and man, I was slow and didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm getting a little hoarse, but guys, I appreciate you so much, and I love that you jumped on here and spent the night with me. I always, I always love your comments and your feedback. I get, was I in the Sandlot movie? No. So, yeah, so as I was saying, I get so many great comments and interaction. And, if I misspeak or say something, you guys let me know. Because, like, I showed a Jack Chesbro card, and I said that he was the only guy to throw 41 games. And, of course, it's inferred that, I thought it was inferred that in the modern era. Because, the 1800 numbers are just off the charts. So, somebody points that out, and they were right. I should have mentioned that it was in the modern era. Stuff like that. And then, every once in a while, I'll get a name wrong. Like, you're thinking of one guy and a different name pops into your head. And I hate that. I hate that you can't edit a video after you put it up there, and like sometimes I'll catch something and I want to change it, but there's already 20 comments. Well, what's the sense? So you think that Ruth may be a reprint. Which Ruth? I'll tell you what, I've been getting vintage cards since I was a little kid. I know what they look like, what they smell like. I could tell you a reprint right away. I am fairly confident I could tell you a reprint right away. People today, they don't even know what a card smells like or feels like. You don't know what a card feels like in a PSA slab, do you? So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. Once again, thanks for watching.